welcome back to another Tuesday TED Talk. How you been? Hope you had a great week beforehand. Now, before we begin to talk about today's TED Talk, which you might have guessed the topic if you were here for the opening, however, need to go back and talk about our movie theaters. Yes, I know, week after week it's a topic, and it's going to be a topic. It's a huge, huge deal. Studios are not putting in the big movies that we want to see in the movie theaters. However, what they are doing is putting in old movies. When I say old, I mean like movies that have already been years ago and come and gone, made lots of money, and have left us. And now we watch them on HBO or on Netflix or what have you. However, if you got a phone call from a studio and said, what movie can we put in the movie theater that would get you and your friends to go into the movie theaters? Something that you've seen, something in your favorite movies, something that you want to see on the big screen again. Maybe it's Dark Knight, maybe it's the original Ghostbusters, or how about Jaws? Jaws in IMAX. Oh my God. What movie would it be for you to go into the movie theaters, again, with your friends and watch it? Let me know. I'm curious. Right here. In the chats, or Instagram, or Twitter, AD_Foster. I want to know. Tell me. Let's talk about it. Now, why are we really here? Why am I really here? I need to talk to you about reality TV. Now, I was inspired by an announcement I saw of a new reality TV show that involves space travel. Now, I'm not a reality TV person because it puts people like me out of business. They don't hire second ADs. They don't hire writers or other crew members. Now, the birth of reality TV, at least for me, was The Real World, which was really intended to be a soap opera that on MTV. The producers wanted to have their version of a soap opera. However, they realized that it was too expensive. So they tossed out the writers, they tossed out the real actors, and they just had auditions for real people and eventually put all these people in the same house. And lo and behold, it was a hit, and years, seasons and seasons later, you have all these people having their 15 minutes, maybe a little more 15 minutes of fame out of this show. And it continued, and that was the beginning of reality TV. And then we have around 2000 where we started getting those elimination type of reality shows. Talking Survivor, American Idol, Big Brother, which is now going on to its 22nd season, I think. So these shows really kicked off those crazy elimination reality TV shows. What we really know now as reality TV. But let's talk now about some of these crazy shows that have been spawned. Some like the most ridiculous things that you've seen. I'm going to start off with Joe Millionaire. You know, there's The Bachelor, there's The Bachelorette, but did you see Joe Millionaire? You may have watched this one. Contestants were there to eventually be chosen by a millionaire. But the catch at the end was he was not a millionaire. He was average Joe. And basically the show goes to show you what happens when you're teased and taunted by the thought of unlimited money for the rest of your life. And what it does to people and the contestants on that show. Only lasts one season, and apparently the Joe Millionaire, Evan Marriott, is still apologizing for that deception and basically horrible show. Now, we get a lot of when I say we, the United States, get a lot of our reality TV show ideas from the UK. And American Idol, Big Brother, all over in Europe before they came over here. And one of the shows in the UK is called Shattered. And what do you get when you challenge 10 contestants to go without sleeping for 7 days? And that is what Shattered is about. And you put 10 housemates, and they have to do varying daily tasks and a variety of challenges really meant to wear them out and want them to go to sleep, but you can't. And they're all competing for 100,000 pounds in this case. And if a competitor closes their eyes for over 10 seconds, bam, you're gone. And the $1,000 was deducted from your prize money, and then whoever had the most at the end is the one that gets to take it home. Now, you start to get into ethics of those kind of shows, and is it ethical to put people to that kind of test and structure? But hey, they did it. Next on our list is a show called, talk about ethics, Who is Your Daddy? Who's Your Daddy? And this was on Fox, and it was probably one of the most, as far as exploitive reality TV shows go, this is probably one of them. And basically made a game out of a woman's desire to search for her real father. And the men were rewarded with money if they could dupe her and kind of make her think that she was their father, or that they were her father. And of course, you can wonder the controversy out of that one, and it didn't go very far, went one episode. But still, just an example of the crazy kind of shows that are dreamt up. Next up we have on the CW, which this was in 2013, called Capture. And this is kind of like the reality TV show version of the Hunger Games, where you put a bunch of people out into the woods, out into the nowhere, and there's two teams, and the teams have to eliminate each other through a game of tag. Now, it's not so much that's the craziness of it, but the added challenge is that the contestants were all deprived of sleep, shelter, and food. And so you had this whole bizarre stuff happening. And it got possibly into, again, an area that was like, makes you go, really? 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 CW? Of course, every holiday deserves its own reality show, and Christmas is no different. And if you're a Christmas person, and you're a Christmas lights person, there's your own creative reality TV show for that. And that is the Christmas Light Fight, where people, obviously, from the name, people get their Christmas lights up and compete for the best dressed house, if you will. And the houses are dressed and judged about their level of Christmas spirit, among other things. And probably how many lights they have and how long it takes, or maybe how quick it takes for them to blow out the circuits in their town, a la Chevy Chase in A Christmas Story. Now this one's a funny one, and this is pretty wild. Raise your hand if you ever saw Farmer Wants a Wife. Now again, oddly enough, based on a UK show, but it was a huge hit in Europe and in the UK, but the American version didn't quite catch on. And basically what happens is a bunch of city women are put into a competition to compete for the affection of the farmer. In this case, in the one episode that aired in the United States, the farmer was this guy. Yeah, all farmers do not look like him. But in this case, the women engage in various forms of farm-related activities, like driving the tractor, baking apple pie. Is it typical farm stuff or stereotypical farm stuff? And also dealing with the livestock. Now, it just, good and well enough, it's not something that really clicked over here in the United States, but nonetheless, I think it's another crazy, crazy reality show that if it did, probably would have spawned a little bit of protesting by the Midwestern belt, if you will. Now, this one's an interesting, for various reasons, I'm sure that it didn't really catch on here in the United States, and that is Sex Box. Now, this is a show, a live shot show, where a couple would go into, on a stage, would go into this huge box that looks something like this. And what do you think they would do in there if the show is called Sex Box? Yes, they go in there, have sex, and then, in front of a live studio audience with the host, they come out and talk about it. And they talk about their feelings afterwards. And they talk about it, how the experience affected their relationship. And they talk about how the sex was. The idea was that the pair were likely to get closer after having just experienced this and having this conversation with the sex therapist. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that's a show that I would ever find myself on. Now, finally, is the show that inspired me to do this particular Tuesday 10 Talk. Now, again, I'm not a reality person. I don't watch reality too much at all. And again, it takes away from a lot of people that are in the business, so not really a fan. But this one I can get behind. And I love space. I always have, wanted to be an astronaut, want to get up there. And if somebody gave me the opportunity right now to go into space and fly to the space station or the moon or Mars, I would do it in a heartbeat. And that is the idea behind Space Hero, and a new reality TV show that will send one lucky winner to the International Space Station on a flight sometime in 2023. Now, all the contestants that they choose will be put into rigorous physical, mental, and athletic activities, and all these designs to kind of wear on your emotions and just basically give you as close to, if not more than, a test of what it's like to be in space, to be in zero gravity, and to be in that environment for a long period of time. I would do it. How about you? Did I miss something? Did I miss a reality TV show that you think is just wild and can't believe it even is on TV? Would you ride a rocket to the space station if you were given a chance, if you won that competition? What's the craziest reality TV show that you have seen? Thanks for joining me. I am Scott Foster. I'm your host. I always love it when you come and join. I'll be back next week for another Tuesday 10 Talk. Again, always find me Instagram or Twitter or at the following pages, AD_Foster. Until next time, cheers. Hey, look, an easy place to find all my Tweet Talks and my Tuesday 10 Talks. Thanks.